We begin this hour with that breaking news of a deadly plane crash in Kazakhstan. Authorities say at least 38 people are dead after an Azerbaijani Airlines plane crashed and burst into flames earlier today. Stunningly, nearly half of those people on board, 29 people, survived, including 2 children. 11 are currently in critical condition. Now we have to warn you, this next video showing dazed survivors pulled from the wreckage may be disturbing for some to watch.
Самолет упал. Куда это?
Туда оттащим подальше. Ноги.
Нет, не смотрим.
Подожди, сиди.
Сиди, пусть сидит. Тут люди упали. Самолет разбился. Прикинь, как этим.
Just terrifying. And in this video right here posted to social media, you can see the plane descending to the ground and what appears to be the moment of impact. CNN aviation analyst and former NTSB managing director Peter Goals joins me now. First, Merry Christmas. Thank you for coming on this holiday to discuss this really scary event. Russia's aviation watchdog said that the preliminary information suggested the pilot had decided to make an emergency landing after a bird strike. You've seen the video now. What's your assessment?
Well, these planes, the Embraer, is a excellent aircraft with a strong safety record, and Azerbaijan Airways has a good safety record. If it was a simple bird strike, losing one engine, that's really not a threatening situation. It's a challenging one. But these planes are designed to fly on one engine. Pilots train one engine flight all the time. Something else happened and caused this terrible fatalities and this terrible accident. If it was an uncontained engine failure caused by a bird being ingested, you would see parts of the engine coming apart, perhaps impacting the aircraft, impacting the flight control systems, and that would be a very difficult situation. And I saw some indications of an uncontained failure in the tail's videotape of the tail. There was some impact marks like shrapnel in the tail of the plane, which might have indicated that.
You know, Peter, one of the things that stood out to me was remarkably, at least 29 people actually survived this crash. What does that tell you about what happened here?
Well, first of all, it tells you 2 things. One is that aviation safety has come a long way. And one of the strongest steps towards surviving these kinds of accidents is the requirement that seats be able to withstand impact of 16 Gs. That means that you're in your seat, you have a terrible wreck like this, you're not being thrown out, and you have the chance to walk away. That's just extraordinary. And I think that's the real message from this kind of accident.
I mean, truly remarkable. And I learned that over the course of speaking with you and other experts, how much progress there has been on aviation safety. Curious your thought on this, though, Peter. Would the U.S. have any role in this crash investigation by any chance? Would it just depend on the nationalities of the victims here?
No, it goes beyond that, and it's a great question to ask. This kind of investigation is guided by the International Civil Aviation Organization, ICAO, and there's a treaty of which Azerbaijan is a signatory, and so is the United States. This aircraft had GE engines on it. The investigator in charge from Azerbaijan could ask for U.S. involvement, and the U.S. could request involvement because of that fact. And there's a cooperative approach to these investigations. The NTSB has a specific designated person who handles international, accidents, and I think the U.S. will be participating.
Peter, one more thing that I wanted to pick your brain on, just because we got some new video that I believe we're about to roll. CNN has learned that oxygen masks were actually released before the crash. Knowing that, does that tell you anything more about what might have happened here?
Well, it may indicate as I said, I'm kind of leaning with just preliminary information towards some sort of uncontained failure in the outboard engine, in which the engines are designed with titanium cowling to try and hold in if a rotor ruptures. These internal fan blades are going at 18,000 revolutions per minute, and if they rupture, these can enter the fuselage and cause a depressurization, which could cause the mast to drop.
Peter Goals, thank you so much for breaking that all down. And again, just stunning video we continue to get in of this really horrific crash. But again, miraculously, many survivors from this crash. Peter, thank you and have a good rest of your holiday.
Thank you.